Hey, it's me again. Hey, Norman. I figured I'd do this video real quick. It'd be a lot easier for you to see it. Basically, I wanted to see if, on a side note, this is not, related to HP or anything, but basically, I've got a piece of software that I had paid someone on Freelancer to do, and it looks like, I'm just, it could, the graphical interface and the layout and things could look a lot better, and, it could probably flow a little bit different. But I know for you, since you do .NET and web stuff, you could probably whip something together pretty quickly, and it'd be something I could pay you for. But basically, I wanted to see if this is something that is doable. So basically, what I have here is a exe file that is made to run off of a USB stick or a hard drive or a folder on the system. It doesn't really matter at this point, but I made it, I guess, being the technical person that I am, and I end up fixing, a lot of people's computers and family and stuff like that. Um, I thought of an idea basically to have a USB stick that you could pre-configure for certain file types, and you can plug it in and hit a start button, and it'll basically go and back up those file types to the USB stick, be it pictures and documents or whatever you specify. And then it's real quick and done. So if you were to gonna bring your PC in to have it repaired, and you know how they say back up everything, you don't want to lose files. You can basically run this stick, and rest assured that you got all your stuff that you need without it being a manual process. So I've got this exe here. It's called backup to USB. And I believe, let me see here, you might be familiar with this. I don't really know what this is here, but he said it was VB, and it looks like it's the language is language neutral. I don't know if that's a runoff of some type of VB coding application or whatever. I don't know if it's .NET framework or what. But basically, I click on this USB exe file, and it opens the program. See, so I think it could look a lot better being all black. It's kind of, for some person, it could be kind of hard to look at and stuff. But you run the program, and if you already have it pre-configured, you could just basically click on Start Backup, or you could go to Settings, and this is the area of the program where you can actually add in your different extensions. Right now I've got I in there because I know that those are, you know, not as many as documents and everything else. And it's made basically if I wanted to, add document, I would, type in the extension and add, and I can add a whole list of extensions, and I can remove them at will. So, and the next configuration here is start backup on startup. So as soon as this exe is clicked, meaning it could be on the USB stick, and as soon as it's inserted, the backup would basically start based upon how it was previously configured. So it makes it basically, really not much that the user has to do, and then close on completion. So once the backup is actually done, the all the windows will close. That's another option. And then the top directory, what do I want to base it off of? Do I want to base it off the current user, or do I want to base it off of a custom folder, to go look, or just all users go and, look within the users, all users folder and go and grab this stuff, or do I want to look at, just the C Windows drive entirely? So, it's pretty customizable. But let me show you, exactly how this works. So basically, if I go ahead and click Startup, it's gonna or Start Backup. It's gonna base it on the INI file, and it looks like initially it's just scanning through. And you notice over here, I've got an auto INF, and I've got a couple config files. This way, if I just copy this to a USB stick, it will basically auto run. Um, And if you recall, I think years ago, Microsoft took out the auto run from USB because it could be used maliciously. So it looks like I've got this third party program that's set up USB supervisor. If I run that, that basically brings back the auto run. And so you notice the program here, after it goes and identifies all the files, then it starts backing them up. Over here on the top area, it created a folder called backup on Saturday with the date. And once I go in there, I'll see some separate folders based on the extension or file types that I chose. And so this is just a progress as it's going along the way. This is pretty quick because it's, INI files. And at this point, it's done. So, and I go into the this folder here, and it does a log, of the files that are being copied and any errors that are done. I guess it logs it to that. And then if I go into here, these are all of the INI files that were identified during the backup process. Now, it doesn't tell me where they came from. I would just have to know that because I told it to look at the, current profile. So it probably came somewhere under my user's profile or whatever. And if I had multiple file types, I'd have if I had docs and Excel documents, I'd have different folders for each one. And so that's basically how the program works. And if I configured it to start the backup when this program is launched, that would be if I had this option checked off. But it's a pretty basic program. I'm thinking the graphical interface, it could look um, a lot better. Oops, let me see here. I think I got the wrong window here. Yeah, it could look a lot better, So this is basically it laid out. I was gonna send it to you in a doc, but a lot of times, hearing me, explain how it works and seeing things is a lot easier. And so I was thinking more of if the graphical interface, had more of a blue color, with lighter blues, a little bit easier to read, versus all black. Um, or it could be, even something like this light color, and maybe I'd have the option to basically put a logo file in the root of the USB that would actually read it, so it could be customized. I could make one for myself, or a company could, basically use it and put their logo or whatever. And this would be used to, copy and run off of a USB stick. And in the end, the user just has a stick with all their files. So is something meant to be done last minute, versus a full blown backup program. So this is pretty much it. I wanted to see how long something like this would take you to do, and what would be involved. I think it's pretty simplistic, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to supply you with all of the files here, because these files here, I typically just zip them up and copy them to the root of a USB stick. And then if I want the USB stick to auto run, I just go and I run this setup USB supervisor, and that it's made by a company called, you might be able to look this up here. Yeah, Sam Logic. Yeah, if you go to samlogic.com, you can actually see they make a product that basically brings back the auto run. And so I'm going to zip this up and go ahead and send it to you, and tell me what you're able to come up with and how long something like that would take. So I'll zip it up to you, and I think I'll just put it in a video and let you check it out, and let me know what you think. Okay, thanks.